Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the shop. I know it's been quite a while again, quite a bit of a gap in between my videos lately, but I've just been really busy and kind of not really in the mood to make videos so much anymore. It's not that I'm going to stop, I still do enjoy it, it's just, I have a really busy day and then, the last thing I want to do is try and get in a good mood and make a video, because no one wants to watch me grumpy after work. But anyways, a blast that I finished a long time ago, and this one's for myself for a change, which is nice. I rarely make stuff for myself nowadays. But anyways, if you don't already know, it is a PCSR, and I know it wasn't really accepted very well on Nerf Haven when it first came out, and I think that's just the way it was posted. The designer, could have said things differently, and the community could have been a little bit more open, but whatever. All that shit aside, because it is just shit, I really like the blaster. I think it's a good design. I changed one thing. Everything else I'm pretty happy with. It's a pretty easy build. There's one part that I'll show you when we go on the bench that's kind of weird, but there's no real way around it. I definitely think it's an improvement over the extension spring latex tube ESTL by Mostly Harmless Arms. That blaster is nice too, but I think this is definitely an updated version. It turned out quite nice. The color scheme's just kind of random, because at the time I didn't own a 3D printer. I printed it at the college that I go to. So I bought a roll of gray, and then I just wanted to have some other colors in there too. So they had some yellow and they had some red. So I printed a few parts in those. And then all the internal parts I printed out of nylon, like all the catch, the plunger head, and then the thing that is the pump is screwed on, that's printed out of nylon as well. And don't be scared to print out of nylon, it's really easy. It's no different than printing with PLA. You don't need crazy settings or anything. If your printer gets hot enough for ABS, it gets hot enough for nylon. So basically just run it hot and a hot heated bed, it's really not difficult. It doesn't warp, it sticks to the bed just fine. It does warp, but it's not unreasonable. So anyways, moving on, all the prints, if I remember correctly, they print without support, which is a huge plus. I'm pretty sure that was not an accident. Aeromech, I'm sure, thought about that and wanted it that way. But all the parts, it's obvious that they're optimized for 3D printing. Where I would probably put some a radius, make the trigger really comfortable. The trigger's just a straight extrusion. Yes, that makes it easier to print, but it's not as comfortable and you have to sand it afterwards. It's just design choices. Personally, I would just print real slow and use a thin layer height and have all the radiuses in there. But I totally see where he's coming from. Everything prints quick with no support. It's super easy. So I definitely understand that. Now moving on, it has a full K25 in the rear, and this is a bullpup style blaster. So the plunger tube is back here, air goes up here through the Y, catches a dart, and then fires. And I think that's a great design. I used to think the other design of bullpup, the Zala style, was superior, but I'm starting to like this better now. It's almost just as good. The next one I'll build with the K26, and it'll be just as powerful as any other bullpup style. I'll be switching to this, and it looks super nice. It's very streamlined, and it gives the PVC pipe blaster style, a modern twist. Lots of 3D printed parts, and yeah. I have a 3D printed Y here because this is maybe a controversial opinion, and it is just my opinion, but I think slugs and domes are on their way out. Domes for sure. Slugs I think are on their way, because realistically, who wants to buy these felt pads from only McMaster? So if you're not in the States, you're screwed pretty much. And then you got to spend a lot of time making these darts, and they might not even be good. You won't make good slugs your first time. So especially with all these pre-made darts coming from China and the quality's getting higher and higher, I think that slugs are going to be on their way out, and then eventually, if we don't find a perfect 3D printed hopper that fires them all the time, hoppers kind of might fade out too, considering mags are cheap, breech kits are cheap, and there's nice MagFed homemades now, like the Caliburn, that's just easily available to anybody. You don't have to, you know, tinker around and make, you know, a rev shot or like the blaster that I did or whatever. It's very easily available, and they shoot full length. So I kind of think hoppers and slugs and everything that go with that may be on their way out, but this blaster is still really cool, and I really like it, and I definitely would make another one. I can't really show you the seal just because the hopper needs to be in, and I don't have one right now. But draws really nice. The pump has a locking feature. It's like kind of tapered at the front here, so it stays. And you can deprime it, which is a huge win. These Elas style bullpups you cannot deprime, which is super annoying. And that's pretty much it I wanted to show you in this view anyways. We'll go up close on the bench, and I'll show you a few things that I changed and just talk about the tricky part of this build. Okay, so the piece that I changed was this piece here. This is my design. The original piece, it goes right here, and it was just like a flat washer. So just this section, and it would bolt straight up there. And its purpose was to hold the ring seal in this section here, the ring seal that seals against the rod that pushes the plunger rod back. But then I thought, so this PVC here, it's getting pumped this way, right? So there's a lot of force twisting down that way. And I just thought the screws just going into the PVC here, I don't know, I just thought that was a lot of stress for 4 little machine screws in plastic. So I wanted a part that was fastened here, and then the PVC goes over this section as well as getting bolted into the receiver here. So this gives it more support this way. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but you know, I believe it is. I think it's good for longevity the way I designed it. And then I also have a little section here for a bushing. Originally I was going to use an aluminum rod, and then I was just going to have like a nylon bushing, but I have a nylon rod in there, and I think I just have a Delrin bushing, and the bushing's not necessary at all. I just, you know, I have a lathe, so like I can, and you don't need to use the bushing with this part. And if anyone wants this, if they think it's cool for their blaster, their PCSR or Aeromech, you know, Aeromech could obviously just draw this. He has the same access to CAD as I do, but if you want the file, I'll give it to you. And now the only other thing I changed, I think that's actually it. Yeah, that is actually it. The only problem I had with this blaster though was that there was some tolerance issues on the parts. Like, I don't know what screws were meant to be used, like in the 3D printed stuff, but the holes, the way they're printed, were too large to use number 6 screws, but not quite. Actually, I forget how it was. I forget the situation, but it was like, yeah, they were too large for number 6 screws, but a little bit small for number 8 32. So I had to chase everything with a drill bit to use number 8 stuff, which I prefer. Like, for me, I don't really like printing holes. I just print their location. Like, if it's a number 6 screw, I just do like a 0.9 hole, and then I chase it with 7/64 drill bits to tap it out. And I think that's a better way of doing it. So maybe he meant to use 1/8 inch screws, or not there, but 1/8 screws there, or whatever, and into the pump going down. Maybe meant to use 832, and I did the right thing by chasing the holes. But if they are meant for 632, which is kind of like NSC standard, they were not right. And a few other tolerance issues. I just remember having them. I don't remember what they are, sadly. If I remember, I'll post it in the comments here. But I just remember things not quite fitting the way they should be. Like, something was loose. I really don't remember. I hate to say that and then not even give you an example, but oh fuck, I don't know. Never mind. It's fine. It bolts together just fine. It's just the whole thing. The difficult part of the build is getting this guy on here. You have to drill holes on an angle, so you have to have them going this way and then again this way, and maybe that's easy with a hand drill. I honestly didn't even try, but it's a pain in the ass to set up on the drill press. You gotta hold everything by hand, and I don't know, I just don't like holding stuff with my hands. I like nice solid setups in the vise, but I guess I cannot be picky when it's someone else's design that I'm getting for free. So that's the only tricky part of the build. It's totally doable. You got to take your time finding the position of these 3 holes and marking them on your PVC, and then drilling at the right angle and countersinking. Other than that, really no complaints. It's a phenomenal blaster. You know, hats off to Aeromech. He did a great job on this design. Absolutely love it. Would build one again, and I would also love to try the machined version. And again, if anyone wants this file, let me know. You know, it's just my one little improvement, I think, and I think it is an improvement. But anyways, guys, I'll try and make some videos more often. I know I've been away and not super active. I've just been super busy, and I'm making an awesome blaster for myself. It's awesome in my opinion. I'll try and show you that as soon as possible. And I don't know if you noticed, I got a new milling machine in the background, a more full-size mill. So most of my time's been going to that lately. I bought it basically for scrap metal weight. Like, it was quite old and very in poor shape. But I redid everything. I rescraped all the ways, polished up the table, hand stoned everything, gave it a nice paint job, you know, clear coat, epoxy clear coat. I put a nice 2 horsepower, 220-volt motor on there, like a nice specs. I had to make a new crank handle, and then I have to make new handles for the other wheels. And then I made a new nut for the knee there. The bottom feed screw is made by me. I'm pretty proud of that. I've never cut an Acme thread before, but yeah, I made that guy. But anyways, I know you guys, most of you guys probably aren't machine shop guys, so you know that's kind of boring to you, or you don't care, or you don't know, and you know I totally get that. It's not for everyone, but I just wanted to show you the new addition to the family. See some nice project on that coming soon. Anyways, guys, like I said, take care. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will talk to you again soon.